Hi. It's Thursday. Welcome to Spiritual Warfare Thursdays. So I was here contemplating about spiritual warfare, right? And as I'm sitting here and I'm contemplating, I'm thinking about in order for there to be spiritual warfare, some type of, you know, mental health type of thing has to be happening, such as like psychological warfare needs to happen prior to the spiritual warfare, because they have to be able to bring you down to that vibration in order for the spiritual warfare to work. So then I thought, and I'm like, oh, in order for there to be any spiritual warfare, there has to be psychological warfare first. And so, like, I have a master's in that. So it's not hard for me to speak on it because that's my line of work. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. But I was just like contemplating that and reflecting on it. So in order for there to be spiritual warfare, psychological warfare has to take place first. Right? And so based on my background, a lot of the warfare that I've experienced has been psychological, but it took me to experience actual spiritual warfare to realize that I had been under psychological warfare. And then what that looks like is you could get like SA abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, neglect, pain, all of that good stuff. So for me, it started at a very early age. So I was groomed to deal with spiritual and psychological warfare, except that I was a sacrifice to the devil, and so you can't kill me. And so now I get to speak about it. It's just one of my gifts from God. No premature death. So, where were we? Psychological warfare, right? Yes. So I was groomed to be like a sacrifice, and the point was for me to do it myself because I'm assuming they figured out that they weren't going to be able to take me out with their deities and stuff. And the devil played them. So they were like, oh, let's make her do it herself. So the type of psychological things that they use is like they're going to use whatever traumas you have, right? Even if those traumas, they inflicted them on you themselves. Because one of the things you're going to realize is that these people will never take accountability for what they've done. And so, or they're going to make it seem like you're over exaggerating or taking it too far, right? So they're going to downplay on your wounds, right? But they're going to maximize them for their interest. So if you were neglected as a child, if you were abused as a child, if you were in addictions, if you still are in addictions, anything that they can pick at that can hurt you, that can make you feel wounded, that's what they're going to use to attack you, right? Because it's like a manipulation technique, but it's deeper than that, because they're not just manipulating, they are gaining access to your mind, which will then lead to having access to your vessel. And then by you being wounded by this psychological attack, that means your vibration is going to lower itself. For example, like the way that, so when I speak about your vibration, I mean the like your energy. like you want to get out of the house, you want to go eat something healthy, you want to go to the gym, you want to go to the club. And when I say to the club, I don't mean like all the time we're going to go out to drink, but like, one day you want to go to the club. That makes sense, right? So you're going to want to do that here and there. Go out with your friends. Now, if you are feeling shame, remorse, regret, lonely, abandoned, you're not going to want to do any of those things. And that's when the spiritual attacks begin. So in order for there to be a spiritual attack, there has to be a psychological one first. And usually they'll put you in like a mental prison. So you're always like thinking about the same thing, feeling regret about the same thing, not seeing your self-worth, not seeing your value, not seeing how beautiful you are inside and out, because beauty is not just, oh my God, I look hot on the outside. No, we are beautiful human beings on the inside. And some people are like really pretty on the outside, and then they're diabolical on the inside. I like balance. So for my divine masculine, I would like it to be both. But as for me, I like to be both, the inside and the outside. But most importantly is the inside, because with the outside we could put like I put this braids on. I got the nails going on and stuff like that. That's nothing. That's nothing. Anybody could do that. Now my insides are lit. That's a whole different story. So they're going to want to keep you at a low vibration in a mental prison, in a mental psychological prison, so that they can attack you spiritually. And they have to have something to attach to. So if you are healing, right? Or if you're aware that they're doing it and you're going to the gym, taking care of your physical health, taking care of your mental health, drinking your water, right? Abstaining from sex, because that's not like for everybody. Like you don't have to like abstain from like sex, but like if you're being spiritually attacked, like you would want to do that, because one, they could use the person that you're with, like their vessel, to spiritually attack you, and two, you're transferring DNA when you're doing that. But let's go back to the mental. Let's go back to the psychological warfare. Right? So if you're purifying yourself, if you're taking care of your health, eating right, not eating meat, not engaging in diabolical stuff, right? They won't have anything to attach to. And if you're healing, right, most likely you'll wake up your ancestral bloodline. And the ancestors are not as kind as we are. I'm just gonna say that. At least that's not my case. Like, I'm nice as fuck, but my ancestors are not that forgiving. So here I am. Doing God's work. Yes, so spiritual warfare, right? Yes, spiritual warfare. It starts with the mind, right? And then in order for it to work, you have to go down to that vibration. That's why it starts with your mind. They have to debilitate your mind so that it can debilitate your body, and therefore they can gain access to you. And sometimes it's not as obvious as we think, because we have given names to so many things, like, oh, you're just a master manipulator, or you're just mean for no reason. Some people have a hidden agenda, and we don't know about it until we go through it. And so let's go to part 2.